But I will show you how to make salted eggs at home. It's very, very easy. All you do is take a saucepan of hot water. We're making salted eggs now. And please, remember now, I'm telling you, don't put them in the refrigerator. We're talking preservation, and the reason that, how will I put this? When you were a kid, your mother used to preserve things because she couldn't afford to buy something other than that, you see. And then later on in your life, you can buy things fresh all the time. You can afford it. In our time, we can. But you have that incredible hunger for those preserved things when you were a kid. You know what I mean? Well, this is an example. I have 4 cups of hot water. This was boiling. I'm going to add a cup, about 1.25 cups of salt. I'm using kosher salt because it has no iodine in it. And then you heat that and dissolve that. And you're ready now to pickle eggs. Now, for flavorings, you can do all sorts of things. For instance, you can do tea eggs. You can put in a fistful of tea and let that, just put it in the water and it will sit. And you can put in a couple of star anise if you want. That will work. Or you can put in some Szechuan pepper. You can do all sorts of things. And next you put in the eggs. Let the water cool. Boil 4 cups of water, add 1 1/4 cups of kosher salt, then either tea or Szechuan peppercorns or star anise, and let that sit for a bit. After it's cool, then you simply pour it over. This hasn't dissolved enough yet, of course, because I'm busy chatting with you as I always am. I'm not paying attention to my temperatures here. Pour it over the eggs and let them sit. Get all the salt in there. They should have dissolved, you see. And let them sit. Now, you ready? If you have your pencil ready, you've heard me. I'll tell you twice. Listen closely. Let them sit outside of the refrigerator for anywhere from 20 to 30 days. Do not call the public health department. Do not call the newspaper. Just leave them sit outside on your counter. I leave mine in a plastic tub for anywhere between 20 and 30 days. Let me show you. See, I put mine in a plastic tub. And at the end of that time, well, here it is. Let me show you very quickly. It's so interesting. Here you have a salted egg. Isn't it fascinating? See them floating? The old line in China is that if you don't have enough salt in your water to pickle the egg properly, a potato will not float, it will sink. Well, you know potatoes always sink in water. No, they don't. If you put enough salt in the water, they will float. So let me show you how to cook them. You can hard boil them and just serve them that way, just as I did this wedged egg, which was supposedly 100 years old and it's only a few weeks. But let me show you this one. This is absolutely delicious. I have some ground pork. I'm going to make steamed pork with salted eggs. Watch what happens. Into my pork, I want to put a bit of chopped green onion, a little bit. I'll give you the amounts in a cookbook later on. I just don't have time now. But a little handful of chopped green onions, a little handful of chopped water chestnuts. I have about 1 pound of meat. I need a bit of ginger. I'm using a good ginger grater here. And then, of course, we'll do the other two parts of the triune. What is the triune in China? The triune for meats is always the same. A little fresh ginger, grated. Now I need some dry sherry or Chinese rice wine. I see someone's been nipping on my sherry, so we'll try the rice wine. This is from China. You don't have to use it. Chinese rice wine is fine. Just a shot. And then we need some light soy sauce. Here's the light soy. Over against the dark. Remember, dark looks all muddy. So ginger, you've got ginger, sherry, and light soy. These are the 3, and you've got to have them. And that will get rid of the what's the word I want? Gamey flavor. That's what the Chinese dislike about meat. Do you know the Chinese claim that Caucasians who eat too much meat smell like meat? And the Chinese are not happy. How will I say this nicely? They're not pleased marching into a dining room with a bunch of Caucasians hanging around because we eat too much meat and we smell like meat fat, beef fat. You see, and the Chinese don't eat that much meat. You eat very small amounts, and that way you can celebrate meat as a flavoring rather than a whole course. You see? So we have a bit of water chestnut, a bit of green onion chopped up, and then the basic 3 for meat marinade: sherry, dry sherry, soy, and ginger. Now, to that, we're going to add a bit of cornstarch. Oh, wow, that's too much. Calm down, Smith. I want about a tablespoon of good cornstarch. And, a couple of eggs. Now, these are raw eggs. These are just plain eggs, straight from the chicken, okay? And we'll roll those in. I'm going to try it. My cook, Craig, you know, my friend who cooks with, tells me that if I'll just crack an egg on the counter and then pick it up, it will open right away. Well, that's not too bad. He keeps trying to teach me. I'm a terrible cook. I'll never learn. All right, what else do we need to add? How about some sesame oil? That will help, too. Just a tiny bit of sesame oil. And we'll mix this up. What are we doing? Well, we're making a steamed dish. Use your hands, use your hands, use your hands. If you have enough gall, use two. Be much better at blending that way. There we are. There we go. Now we're going to put that in a fish dish, and we're going to steam it. Now you can use any kind of steam you want. I happen to have my fancy bamboo steamers because I love them. I just love them. From China. And you notice that there's a fish in this dish, and I'm going to put meat on top of it because the fish is always a symbol of plenteousness in China, and it's also the symbol of plenteousness in ancient Israel. In ancient cultures, that was a symbol. That's why I wear a fish all the time. You know that that's what this fish is. Let me show you here. There. The fish that I'm wearing, whoops, get that boiling. I think we're all right here. The fish that I'm wearing all the time is jade from ancient China, and it is a carp from the China Sea. You see? Isn't he beautiful? Whoops. Sit up straight. It is a tail and his big head, you see. And it is to protect me, to make me wealthy because it's a symbol of joy. Not in terms of money, for heaven's sakes. The Chinese aren't that. That's not the issue. But to make me wealthy in terms of happiness. And so I've never done a show without the fish. No, it is not a shark fin. Those of you who live in Los Angeles who say, shouldn't be wearing a shark fin on the air. It's not a shark fin. Not a shark fin at all. Shark fin, indeed. All right. The dish of pork is all ready to go, so I'm going to make a dent in it. Watch what happens now. And I'm going to take 2 of my eggs that have been salted. And look what, these have been soaking now for, oh, I don't know, 15 days or so, maybe 20 days. Now, you see what's going on here? Look at the yolk is hard. It's firm. You see that? Now, you're going to put this in a steamer, steam this for, see that? The white will run out over the dish, but the yolk will stay in one piece. It's just hard, almost like a piece of candy. And then you steam it. Put it in a steamer. Let me get rid of this dish because I already have one in a steamer, of course. Look at this. That's a little hot. I think I've got it. I think I've got it. This dish is absolutely wonderful. And Chinese mamas tell me that when it's time for dinner, the big fight is not over the pecan pie. They don't make pecan pie. The big fight between the kids is over who gets the biggest chunk of the salted egg yolk. That's a great treasure.